What a team victory. The 5-game losing streak is over. The Jets seal the deal at home and collect a much-needed 21-13 victory over the Houston Texans. We're going to get all into it all here on a post-game edition of NY Flight Jets Talk.
Jets, Jets, let's go.
Jets wide receiver Wesley Walker. Wesley, how you doing today? ESPN writer Mr. Rich Cimini, Jets reporter for The Athletic, Mr. Zach Rosenblatt, Hall of Famer and Jets legend Mr. Marty Lyons.
Your host, Connor Law.
Wow. That's all I really have to say. It comes to an end. It's happened. The Jets' 5-game losing streak is officially over. They get it done at home on Thursday Night Football against the Houston Texans. And wow, 21-13 victory at that. Let's get all into it. Before you do so, everyone smash that like button. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Appreciate all the support. Before we get any further, we do have a $2 super chat already here from Jets Flight Plan. No message, but we do appreciate the $2. Like I said, smash that like button. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. It happened. The losing streak is over, and they get it done in a way where they can go into victory formation at the end of the game, which is always something great to see. I don't really know where to start here. I mean, I guess we could start with Aaron Rodgers. His performance today, 22 of 32, 211 yards, and 3 touchdowns. I thought, he didn't have that 350-yard gain that might have, blown people away, but I thought it was a very, very solid performance. Obviously, threw 2 huge touchdowns to Garrett Wilson, that one crazy catch that I'm sure we'll definitely get into, but reunites with Devontae Adams. They connect for the first time in the end zone, for the first time. Well, they've been in the green and white together, so I thought overall it was a great team game. It was a great victory and a much needed victory at that. Now you look and they're back on track. The schedule gets easier. Next week they travel to Arizona, take off against the Cardinals. Then they travel back home, host the Colts on Sunday Night Football. I mean, this team, this was the win. This was the win that I think really shifted the culture, so to speak. I was a big fan of how this team played tonight. And I think if they keep it up, I really think this was the game that we've been waiting for all season long. I really do. This is, the tone setter, the game that all of us fans have been waiting for. And it comes, I think a lot of people were expecting it to click immediately during week 1 against the 49ers. Clearly that was not the case. That obviously didn't happen. And then they barely sneaked past the Titans in week 2. Dominating against the Patriots in week 3, and then all went downhill from there. Now we're back up. It's a roller coaster of emotions as a Jet fan, as I'm sure most of you guys know. But what matters is they're back in the win column, and as we know with this team, they ride on waves of momentum. The cayenne pepper and water did work, and I promised on my pregame show, I'm sure most of you guys watched with Matt O'Leary, that the Jets won. I was going to do a sample of the cayenne pepper and water, and given the victory, I am going to do a sample of cayenne pepper and water at some point this week, but let's say what's up to everyone in the chat. We got our guy Jets Flight Plan in here, Nathan Schiffer, appreciate the support, Daniel Barry Sports Highlights, and our guy Green Bean coming in the chat. Bean, I had your watch party on in the background. You, Jeremy, Dom, and Gunny, great job as always on the watch party. Appreciate all the support. Smash that like button, everyone. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Again, it wasn't that blowout fashion. It wasn't that 40-10 victory, so to speak, but they got it done, and that's all that matters. This team, they've showed time in and time out that they are doing everything. They've done everything in their power possible to win a game, and I think they did a great job of doing just that tonight, and I'm super proud of what this team did. I really am. And I'm happy they get it done. They get back in the win column, a much-deserved win. I mean, I couldn't imagine what it would be like if this team fell and they're sitting at a record of, 2-7. Then basically playoffs are out of the picture. But they've completely battled now to the point where, given that the schedule lightens up, they have a really, really solid chance to go on a run here. They have a chance to go out, make a statement in Arizona next week. go out again, have a huge game, back home against the Colts on Sunday Night Football, and then they're just humming from here on out, which I think is what you want to see. I think that is the goal of this Jets team, really. And you got you Jet fans, you got it, and everyone. Speaking for everyone here, everyone just go out and enjoy this win. This was a beautiful win. This is what you need. Beat the Texans. I know. Well, everyone's gonna say they're depleted. They're a depleted Texans team. I don't care. You go out, you get the job done, and that's all that matters, really. It is, and I'm so happy they're able to, might not, like I said, in that beautiful, pretty fashion that a lot of people wanted, but they get it done, and that's all that matters. The schedule now, it's takes a huge step back, and I know we've been talking, a lot of big picture here, but even if you just look at the small picture, kind of, just to recap tonight's game, really, I thought the defense looked really solid, specifically the defensive line. I thought the defensive line looked stout. Quinnen Williams had a really, really solid game. He had a sack and a half. Everyone wrecking the game. Jamie and Sherwood, as always, he had incredible game. So I think if this team, like I said, continues to build on this momentum, the defensive line continues to play well. They continue to cause havoc. I think this team has potential to do really, really great things down the stretches, which is what you want to see there. And you just gotta. This team is a team that there was so much anticipation for them entering the season, and obviously, as we all know, they did not live up to expectations immediately. But now the team, they're midway through the season, and I think this is what they needed. Like I said, that culture change, so to speak. Now it's kind of at that, tipping point, if you will, where this was the must-win game. If they didn't win the game, playoffs were out of the picture. However, they've completely proven people wrong, really. And I'm so happy to see this team go out, collect a win. And I think this is not only what the team needed, but what the fan base. And we are having some issues here on the stream. I don't know what it is for some reason, but everyone hang tight and I will be right back. So sorry. Give me, we'll go to a quick commercial break here. Give me a few minutes and I'm positive I will get this fixed. Thank you guys. I am so sorry, everyone. Had a few technical difficulties there, but we are back. Everyone, smash that like button. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Another super chat here from Jet's Flight Plan. Time for cayenne pepper and water for all. Let's go. Yep. The mentality right now, you got to ride this wave of momentum. This is what this team rides on. Cayenne pepper and water. You got to hope that's, for all those Met fans out there, that's like the grimace of the Jets, so to speak. So you gotta hope that's the superstition for all of you guys out there who are superstitious. You gotta ride this wave of momentum. I'm sure we'll continue to get into the rest of the game here on the channel. But in the meantime, if you want to call into the show, voice your opinion, thoughts on this game, you could do so by clicking the pinned comment in the chat and voice your opinion. BP York, any doctors in the house to write a note for Connor to skip school tomorrow? Jets win, baby. Love the win. Love the energy, BP York. I'm actually off tomorrow. It's I forgot what holiday. It's some sort of holiday, but I'm off from school tomorrow. Actually, quite frankly, today, as it's 12:09 a.m. here on the East Coast. But yes, off from school today / tomorrow, which is great. Get to sleep in and enjoy this win. Talk to you guys, I'm sure, some point, this afternoon. Given that we're already past midnight here on the show, keep up the great work, good work. Excuse me, Connor. Enjoy the win. Appreciate all the support, BP York. Got our guy Peter Nugent checking in here. Big fan of this kid. He knows his stuff. Definitely, we'll see this kid on a major sports station in the future. Peter, means a lot. I really, really, really appreciate all the support here on this show. Genergy checking in. Connor, I was there. What a game. Wow. Yeah. And Genergy, if you like to call in, voice your opinion, what it was like in person, but I can only imagine the energy within the stadium, just the momentum change from a point where, the Malachi Corley touchdown where that gets called back. It's just a roller coaster of emotions, which it's always like at Jet Life Stadium, but they pulled out with a win, and that's all that matters. Get back in the win column. That's what this team needs. Nick Kramer checking in, tuning in from Australia, loving the recap. Nick, appreciate all the support here. Coming in Australia. What time is it? What time is it for you in Australia? I wonder what time it is over there. But yeah, keep us posted there in the chat. Let's get back to the game, though. I thought the Jets did a very, very good job, the Jets' overall defense, in keeping CJ Stroud at bay. Very, very dull performance from him today. 11 of 30, 191 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. I think that was one of my keys to victory in my Jets X Factor article this week was blitzing consistently, which helped both maintain Joe Mixon, and it was also a relief for the Jets secondary, given Nico Collins and Stephon Diggs were out. But I thought the Jets secondary did a good job of containing, not necessarily containing Tank Dells because he had a good game, but I thought they did a good job keeping up with him. I was not expecting as big of a game out of him, but what matters is overall, I thought they played fine. There weren't as many pass interference calls as we've seen in prior weeks, which is always a step in the right direction. Great to see. And Nick tells us it's 3:11 p.m. watching from work. Nick, absolutely love it. Thanks for making this a part of your work day over there in Australia. But I think the Jets stacking the box really helped maintain CJ because he was under pressure. I don't know the exact number, but they did pull it up on the broadcast. I mean, he really was under deluge a lot at times, and I think a lot of it had to do with the interior of the Jets' defensive line causing havoc between Solomon Thomas, Javon Kinlaw, Quinnen Williams. Just overall, I think the interior of the line played so well, which really helped propel this team to victory. Excuse me, Jamie and Sherwood even came away tonight with 2 sacks. He wrecked the game as always. Let's see the other stats from the night. Quinnen Williams, sack and a half. Michael Clemens, the guy who everyone hates, he ended up having a fine night. He came away with 2 sacks, probably I think his best game in the green and white. So I think I guess the overall morale of that message kind of is this team, when things got tough, they really rallied around each other and kind of really formed and came together as a team to propel all the way through, because there were times during this game where it was close. I mean, there were points where this game could have gone either way, but they end up pulling out, getting the win, which is what matters. And in honor of the win, to honor you guys, what you've shared with the show, go 10 memberships, Connor's A Team, for all you guys, and I'm about to drop it in 3, 2, 1, and it should be should be in there now. 10 memberships. We'll read the names out here shortly. Before we do that, though, Genergy Primo, I was there with Jake and a bunch of Asmaniacs and Shiners. I told you the Jets needed my Genergy. Genergy, the Jets needed your energy. That for sure rhymes. Needed your energy. You were there, and you're the the lucky charm, so to speak. Maybe you can go to every game for the rest of the year. You, the Asmaniacs, and the Shiners, because every game where this, the Jets, a lot of Jets creators have done a group buy, whether it was week 3. I mean, I think the Jets need to play on Thursday Night Football every week because they're 2-0 this year. 2-0. I think they need to play on Thursday Night Football every week. But let's get into the memberships. 10 memberships dropped here on the show. Genergy, Snowball, R&R, Dre Day, the Jets fan, Jimbo, Jared B., Morning Woody, Jerry Moore, Brennan Sanzone, and Jonathan Alvarez. That is in honor of the Jets win. We'll make it a thing. Every time the Jets win here, we'll drop 10 memberships. Appreciate all the support. You want to show your support for the show. The free way to do it, you smash the like button. That's the way you could do it for free, and that really goes a long way. But the paid way you could do it, if you want to do so, you can super chat by clicking the $ in the bottom corner or gifting memberships. We do appreciate even just clicking that like button helps us so much. Sharing the channel, texting it, friends and family, that helps us grow so much, and that's completely free of charge. You don't have to pay for any of that. So that's the free way to contribute to the show, but there's also a paid way to do so. Submit your comments, thoughts on tonight's victory. If you want to call into the show, voice your opinion, everyone is welcome to do so by clicking the pinned comment in tonight's chat. I thought Jalen Mills, thought he had another solid game, and I thought the defense overall played well, obviously holding the Texans to just 13 points. There were penalties. I mean, we obviously saw that horrible Eric Watts penalty on special teams. Defense ended up holding. I mean, the defense I thought played really well. There were times they did get called for stupid penalties. The offense did have to, the offense didn't help the defense out at points, but the defense just, stood pat and did what we know they can do. They rallied around each other, which is what you need in order to win a championship. And I think that's exactly what this team did and exactly what they needed. If that defense doesn't necessarily play up to par tonight, I think this is a completely different game. If this defense has a performance similar to the Pittsburgh game, it's a completely different outcome. It's not they're not going to win this game if the defense doesn't play to the ability they did tonight. I see Caden in here. Our run defense isn't very good. I thought they did a fine. Mixon, I knew he was going to run all over us. He did have over 100 yards on the ground, 24 carries. 106 yards and a touchdown, but I thought it could have gotten a lot worse. I really did. Yeah, it wasn't. They didn't really keep him under. They didn't keep him under 100 yards, but still, I thought it could have gotten a lot worse. They only let him in the end zone one time. The run defense is a problem, but that's been a problem all season. It's not like it's emerging as something new, and they've slowly started to increase every week, which means they're taking a step in the right direction, which is what you want to see here. So, I think to kind of look at the positives, I thought the interior of the line played a lot better than they have in prior weeks. I thought Kinlaw stepped up big time tonight. I really did. I don't think he recorded the sack, but he was disrupting the runs as a part of his game that he struggled to do this season. But I thought overall, Sauce had an okay game. He had a nice pass breakup, but still, he did get injured. That's why Caden comes in. I hope Sauce is okay. Yeah, he did go. He went on twice actually during tonight's game. But I think he is okay. Everyone, smash that like button. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Submit your questions in the chat. Share your thoughts on tonight's game with everyone. Love to hear you guys again. I'm gonna call into the show. The pinned comment in the chat. We do greatly appreciate all the support here on the show. 12:17 a.m. on the East Coast for everyone in the East Coast staying up late with us. Really, really do appreciate it. Our guy Gary comes in and says, Michael Clemens needs to be a Jet for life. Gary, I will say this. I don't know who had 2 sacks from Michael Clemens on their bingo card tonight. And I wish I could see the betting odds for that on like DraftKings or something. Over 2 sacks from Michael Clemens. Jeez. I wonder what the odds were on that. But wow, before we keep it going, wow, we got a 5 spot from our guy Dre checking in here on the show. We'll hit him with the Jets chant. Dre, 5 memberships Dre, great meeting you during week 3, and we really do appreciate all the support here. Let's read some names. We got Dre to Jay Lepister, Mr. McDone, Mr. McMoney, JT, Jeffrey R. Who's her daddy? That's who Dre's memberships went to. Dre, you're a legend. Appreciate you gifting these memberships out here on the show. But we do have a caller on the line, so we're gonna head over to him. Let me just get my headphones in here first, so we can bring the caller in. Let's see. We got our guy Phenom up here. Let's bring him in. Phenom, what's popping?
Hey, man. Oh, how are you, Connor? Terrific game tonight. What a game. Jets finally put some things together. Spectacular catch by Garrett Wilson. Really did some great things.
Phenom, I don't think I hear you. I think it might be on my end.
I don't know.
Can you hear me, Phenom?
I can hear you fine. Can you hear me? 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 All right, I'm gonna leave. Thanks for the time. Thanks for the time.
Of course. Yeah. Well.
Yeah, you're breaking in and out. I'm leaving. See you, man. See you. Take care.
Oh no, I got Phenom. I got you. Phenom, I got you. Can you hear me now?
All right. Oh, sounds great.
Yeah, awesome. Phenom, appreciate the call. Thoughts on tonight's game? Were you expecting it? I know a lot of fans, they wanted the win, but not a lot of people felt so confident entering the game. The Jets were somehow favored. But thoughts on just tonight's overall performance, and are the Jets still alive?
Was I surprised? Yes, I was surprised. We knew going into the game that Houston didn't have all their offensive weapons. We knew that Collins was out. We knew that Diggs was obviously hurt. So that really gave me a shot in the arm. If the Jets could run the football a little bit and do some things, we might have a shot. But there's still a lot to be desired by this team. This team can't stop the run. Joe Mixon had a big night tonight. You know, he was toying with them, and there were moments where what's the little receiver, number 3? I can't call his name off the top of my head. Yeah, Tank Dell. Tank Dell had some big plays in the game. So, happy for the win, excited for the win, but the defense did not look good at points in this game. So that's what I got. I'm happy to get the win, better than the loss, but a lot to be desired, Connor.
Phenom, as always, love it. Appreciate the support.
Love you, man. Take care.
Love you too. Phenom, always bringing in the heat. Appreciate all the support. And I thought he made some good points. The run defense obviously wasn't where it should be. I did expect Mixon to have a big night, though. He's really emerged this season as an elusive running back, which is, kind of crazy given his age, that he is older. But he's ripped off these explosive runs over the past few weeks. So I knew he was going to run all over the Jets tonight, especially given what we've seen from their run defense. They haven't been, stout per se. Before we keep it going, we do have another 5 gifted memberships from our guy Rick Kent. Let's give it a Jets chant. Jets. There we go. Rick Kent coming in with 5 gifted memberships. Always appreciate the support here on the show, and those memberships went to Jet Set Fool 24, Big Will, Ron Gee, Nate, and Clancy. And I'll make a deal with you guys. For every 10 memberships we gift, I'll gift an extra 5 to help compliment you guys on this win. So combined from Dre and Rick, that's 10 memberships. So I'll drop in 5 now, and we'll keep that going for the rest of the post-game show. That's what you guys get in exchange for a huge Jets win tonight. So like I said, every 10 memberships that are gifted, I will gift 5 in return. So just hit the 5 memberships, and the names are coming out. And here we go. We got my 5 memberships: Rick Kent, Oscar the Grouch, John, Ed Vargas, and our guy Midnight Mike is now a member of the show, fellow Jets content creator Midnight Mike. Everyone, really appreciate the support here on the postgame show. Let's keep it going. We got our guy Lane Kerner in the house. The Lane train coming in the chat lane if you want to call into the show. I know you love talking on these shows. You want to call in, pin comment in the chat. Want to hear your thoughts on tonight's game. Jared, of course, appreciate all the support. Of course, you got a membership. Appreciate it. Appreciate you tuning in on tonight's post-game show. Pull up the comment here from Caden. CJ Stroud won us the game. Now, I think with CJ Stroud's struggles, yes, he did not play up to par, which did help the Jets propel themselves to victory. But I think a lot of it had to do with the Jets, putting him under deluge at times. I mean, they were all over him. He was pressured on a lot of his dropbacks. Obviously, we'll see the numbers from Next Gen Stats, NFL Pro, PFF once they come out tomorrow. But he was pressured a lot. So, yes, he didn't have a great performance, but I think a lot of, the result of his poor play was due to him getting pressured a lot from the Jets defensive line. I thought they did a great job of causing interior havoc. McDonald collected a few pressures tonight, which is always great to see. Hassan Reddick, he got involved, half a sack, and Caden 8 sacks total from the Jets defense tonight. Great job overall. I thought the team played their hearts out, which you want to see. They fought to the end. They showed great, a ton of grit, which I really like to see for a team that was obviously 2-6 entering this game. So I'm happy they battled. They get the job done, and it only gets easier. Only gets easier. Everyone smash that like button. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. You want to call into the show, voice your opinion on tonight's game. We'd love to have you on. You could do so by clicking the pin comment in the chat, of course. Rick, appreciate you gifting the memberships. So remind everyone, for every 10 memberships you guys gift, I will gift you 5 in return for a Jets win, and we'll do that here on the post-game shows for the rest of the year for a Jets win. Lane coming in. How do you feel about the black uniforms for the Jets tonight? I like the black uniforms, Lane. I did have my sauce black uniform on for my pregame show. Then I wore it up until halftime. Then the Jets were down, so I changed into my white Brees jersey, Brees the Beast. He ended up having a nice game on the ground. I think he had, what did he have? Let's see. Brees had 678 yards on the ground. It was. Let me just double check that. 74 yards on the ground. But I thought he showed pure elusiveness, which is what you want to see. He didn't have that, he didn't have over 100 yards obviously on the ground, but he showed elusiveness, which you want to see. I like the black jerseys. They're some of my favorites, and I'm always a fan of them. Jenergy rocked her black and green sauce jersey. Love that jersey. Like the sauce jerseys in any color. I have, my sauce jersey is in black. But before we keep it going, our guy Dre comes in. More memberships. This time, a 10 spot from Jay. Hit him with the Jets chant. Jets. There we go, Dre. Coming in with a 10 spot. Love it. Dre, can't thank you enough for all the support here on the show. We got some names to read. Dano, Jameel Haywood, King Breeze 21, Gilbert Farmer, Peter Berio. Sorry, I can't read. Vero Beach NY Jets fan, extinguish the guilt. Howard Peranto, Jeremy, and a homeless Dorito. You are all members of Connor's A-Team. Thanks to Dre. And you know what that means. 10 memberships mean I got to come back in and give you guys a 5 spot here on the show. So more names to read. This has been, the most memberships we've ever gotten here on a show. So keep them coming in. I'll match every 10 you send, but Dre, absolute legend. As always, appreciate the support. And let's see. Caden again. It's not easy for teams to come into MetLife and expect to win every game when they're the better team. Yeah, and the Texans, they were without some pieces. But yeah, I think the energy, the tone they set in the building tonight, it's tough because, Jet fans, as we know, are the greatest fans in the world, and they're going to bring the heat every night. They're going to bring the heat every night. And they did that tonight, and I think just the way paired with the Jets play, I think every time the Jets go out and make a big play, that only energizes the fans. And the Jets gave fans reasons to be excited tonight. And yes, Caden, they showed Fireman Ed on the screen tonight. That's what they did. But my 5 memberships, we'll read them out here on the show. We got Joseph Riveria, Tony Crack, Aurora, Louis Ravis, Big T, Charlie. Appreciate all support here on the show. Smash that like button. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. And like I said, every 10 memberships you guys gift, I'll match it. I'll give you guys 5. Caden, yes, the Jets showed Fireman Ed here on the Jumbotron tonight. There were some talks about Fireman Ed, Jetman, and Scott not getting up on the screen, but they end up getting on on the screen tonight. And Scott, yeah, you're right. The Jets were without pieces. Also, that's a very fair point. They were without um, Alan Zard, who was placed on IR. They were without Tony Adams. They were without Elijah Vera Tucker. I mean, I mentioned Elijah Vera Tucker there. I got to give props to Olu Fashanu. Jake Hansen went down, and the Jets had to put in freaking Olu Fashanu at right guard, and I thought he did a good job. Yes, saw the reports. Morgan Moses was helping him out a lot of the snaps, but boy, that was I thought they played overall a good game, especially battling the injuries. We do have a $10 super chat, 25. We'll give them a Jets chant here. Jets. Get me in the call now. 25. I do see you backstage. I'm getting to you. Before we do so, you're next up on the line, but someone to join first here. The guy who gifted all these memberships, the man, the myth, the legend, Dre Cora. Joining the show. Dre, what's poppin'?
What's good, Connor? How you doing? Great
I'm
win.
doing well.
I was there. I was right in the same row with the Shine guys.
There we go.
I was there right next to Jake with the Asmaniacs. So it was a great group buy. We was all there. Bobby Midnight was in the piece.
Oh, yeah.
It was fantastic. My prima, Jenna G, was in the house. And you know what? I had two friends that I know from college. They were up in the upper deck, came down to see me, but they left in the first quarter. I said, "You're leaving?" And I gotta go. He's my ride. And the other guy, he gave up. And I was like, I don't know. And last year I was at the Texans game. We didn't score no points in the first half. We're a second half team, so I was like, okay, we'll keep that same energy. And I know that I get a lot of crap for saying Garrett Wilson was going to catch 28 touchdowns, but you see that one catch. That one catch was worth like 10. Like,
that was like that. It was like the Michael Jordan, that Air Jordan type.
Exactly. What the Knicks need to do is the Knicks need to sign Garrett Wilson now. And Garrett will finish the season. We're gonna go to the Super Bowl. We're gonna win the championship. Then he can go right to the Knicks second half of the season, and he can win the championship with the Knicks too. Let's go, baby. New York is back. They pulled me back in. I was feeling, I don't know. I was feeling, I was down with all the rest of the Jet fans. But we needed this. We were begging for this. And the fact that Allen and JJ and all the negative Fat Jet fans are known for going around, and Gary, you too, I know I saw what you wrote about Clemens, the player of the year, MVP of the year. And it's just phenomenal. I love how we get down, but then we get back. This is resilience, Connor. Being a Jet fan means you are going to stand alone, stand apart, and you're gonna go through hell. But there is no stronger fan in all of sports than the New York Jets fan, because we've been through it all and we're still here. I'm not gonna have a voice tomorrow, but it's all good. We are back, baby. We are back. One game at a time, but the streak starts tonight. Let's go. Drink up. Salud. I'm so glad you got to see this win.
Let's go.
I'm drinking brisk iced tea. I'm not telling the kid to drink brisk. It's Connor after dark. He's allowed carbonation at the midnight. All right, my brother. Yo, great game. Okay. You doing your thing. I can't wait to see you on ESPN, my brother.
Appreciate you, man.
Anytime, brother.
Enjoy the win as always, Dre. Bringing the heat. Great call. Keep it going here on the line. We got our guy 25 joining the show. 25, what's poppin'?
What's going on, brother? First of all, shout out Dano, because I'm sitting here waiting for Jake, and he in Jake's Discord calls out, hey, if you guys are bored, whatever, Connor's live, so I have to come in.
Oh wow!
And I'm gonna give you.
Thank you so much, Dane.
Yeah, listen. It. I'm going to give you all the points that I am going to give to Jake right now. First of all, let's go. Let's go. But I still don't feel good. I still don't feel good at all. We came out flat again. Like, when can we do something in the first quarter? In the first half in general? All right. Anyways, We almost witnessed a murder on live TV. The
Yes.
funeral isn't done yet. Next week, we could easily have the Jets' funeral. Easily.
Yeah, I will say this though. I think this was a step in the right direction because if the Jets lost tonight, the playoff hopes were dead. Yes, the playoff hopes are still dwindling right now, but you look at this team, this Texans team, they were 6-2 entering the game. Yes, I understand they were without both Nico Collins and Stephon Diggs, but they still bring offensive firepower between C.J. Stroud, Joe Mixon, Tank Dell. So I think it's, a huge momentum changer really for the Jets that they go out and they collect a win against a talented Texans team. And I think my point that I'm trying to make is
you say talented. Let me ask you a question.
Yep.
If the Texans didn't have all the injuries that they've sustained right now, do we win?
Yeah, I
don't
really think
so.
I think so because I thought the Jets' offensive line that was clearly depleted today, 25. I mean, at the end of the game, Max Mitchell and Olu Fashanu were our two starting guards.
Well, we'll say something on that front. I loved what they did because I've been screaming.
Yep, that's my point.
Get him benched. But Tyron, from what I saw, and I really wasn't watching a specific player. I was just watching the game, right? But Tyron looked okay. And the fact that
he didn't stand out in a negative way, yeah.
The fact that you took a risk and put Max Mitchell, which last year he was bad at his natural position. So the fact that you took the risk and took Olu, a rookie who hasn't been great at his natural position, took both of them and threw them in at guard, and I feel like it worked out. Brees was great.
Yeah.
He was good.
I thought Brees, something 25 that Brees has struggled with all season is, finding that vision. And I thought his vision was really
found the
really
hole every time. The amount of times
exactly.
that I heard
His vision.
Al Michaels say a big hole. Brees finds the hole. It was great. It made me feel good.
Absolutely. I thought Brees had a great game overall. And as for the offensive line play, you mentioned the Jets possibly not winning this game with all their pieces of back. I think the thing that scared me most about this Texans team was their pass rush. You have Will Anderson and Daniil Hunter coming out of the outside, probably the best duo on the exterior of the line in the league, and then on the interior, Foley Fatukasi alongside Tim Settle. So I think they had very, very talented numbers for a defensive line group. I think the most pressures this season entering today's game, minimum 100 snaps. So I think that's what scared me most. And I thought the Jets secondary, Tank Dell had a big game, but it's because he was the only option. So he was basically getting force-fed the ball. Yes, it would have been more high scoring, I think, if Diggs and Collins were in the game. I still think the Jets come out though, because I thought the defensive line caused havoc, and that's what you need to win a football game.
Well, yeah, just a few more points before I get out of your hair.
Absolutely.
A lot of people still suck on this team. We still find new ways to lose every week. Every week. The flags, the effort, the lack of accountability. I mean, I don't even know if I'm the only one that's even thinking about this right now, but we get rid of Justin Hardy, who was, correct me if I'm wrong, a captain last year.
He was, yes.
He was elite. And the idea of getting rid of him from Joe Douglas was that you have Irv Charles, which we know Irv is not going to be a factor in the passing game, but we kept him on the active roster, not even on the practice squad, because we thought he could replace Justin Hardy. And he's worse than Justin Hardy and committed one of the most egregious penalties today that I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. I am not only, the Irv Charles one was tough when he blocked it, but I think the one I have more of a gripe about was the Eric Watts one, and the defense completely bailed him out on
rookie though. You can say that he's
that was a bad penalty. I mean, Irv's technically, he's not a natural rookie obviously, but he played only a handful of games last season. He didn't play the full season. I understand Watts is a rookie. I mean that wasn't a great penalty, but what matters is the defense bailed him out, and now it's a fresh slate. They get out of this. Like I said, it wasn't that beautiful, 3-score victory. They get it done though, and they, all that matters is that they win. Foot's now in the right direction. Momentum is on the Jets' side. Now you just got to hope for a very, very, solid game against the Cardinals that are a struggling team.
And I mean, I'm just gonna rapid fire these last few things because I
Yep.
see my boy Rick in the chat. He's asking if I'm gonna talk all night. I could if I wanted to, but I'm not going.
You're good, 25. You're good. You're good.
Yeah, so only the Jets, after this fan base was screaming for this third round rookie Malachi Corley to get in the game, does he finally get in the game and on his first touch get a touchdown, but drop the ball and screw us. At that moment in time, the game could have been 7-7. I get that we won,
absolutely.
but like,
and there's no excuse.
Only us. It's only us, and there's no excuse. There's no
excuse for that. I mean, I think it was just to the point where he got so excited he dropped the ball. But I mean, that's like the most Jet-like thing to do. You cannot do that. I mean, this is someone, like you said, he's urging, he's begging to get on the field. He gets that opportunity with Allen Lazard's injury, and he just blows it. But I mean, they played him more than Mike Williams.
I don't think Allen Lazard's injured. They threw him on IR for a reason. But the last few things is the dropped passes are unexcusable. You need to pay Garrett Wilson now, not next week, not tomorrow. Joe Douglas needs to write the check now. Brees is legit. I was a person that said to trade him, but he is legit, and you need to keep him. And I loved what they did with the O-line, like I said. Clemens with a sack instead of egregious penalties. I love that. And again, I'm still not satisfied. Connor, thank you for the call. And I thank God for this win. Plug your ears. I skipped getting pussy tonight to watch this game, and I'm glad that I did. Thank you, Connor.
25. Appreciate the call as always, bringing the heat here on the post-game show. We got a few more calls left. If you would like to call into the show, pin comment in the chat, smash that like button, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Guy Dre Cora, Jesus, I mean, this guy is an absolute legend, coming in with a $5 super chat. 25, bro. You're almost as bad as JJ Allen. Take the win. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Smile, you're killing me. He was getting negative there, but a win's a win, like you said. It's still a win. You're only as good as your record is, and yes, the Jets' record is 3-6 right now, but this team is on the right track, and I think they are going to improve shortly, which is what you want. And remember the membership deal. Every 10 memberships you guys gift, I will gift 5 back. Show your support for the channel here, and I will show mine in return. We got the next caller. He's going to bring some heat. It's our guy, the Lane Train.
Hey.
Lane, what's going on?
Corey. Well, I'm Jets X-Fan.
Sorry, Lane? We lost Lane there, but we'll have to keep it going. We got our next guy, Gary, up here on the program. Gary, what's popping?
Everyone wanted Malachi Corley. We finally get him, and then he does that. It's just inexcusable. Like,
yep.
I said that's what's going to cost us the game. But then we started getting breaks, like that extra point that hit up the crossbar. I'm like, you got to be kidding me! Another extra.
That was a field goal. That was a field goal.
Okay, that crossbar. That's our omen. That's our OMG of the season. Like that ball going off the crossbar and then going in.
Oh yeah, you're talking about the Jet side. I thought you were talking about
our grimace. That's our OMG. That's our moment. That's gonna change.
And the cayenne and pepper. The cayenne and pepper.
It was we finally got some breaks. We got that. We got they missed the field goal on the chips. After they hit the 44-yarder, they missed the 27-yarder. Yep. That was a break. I don't know what everyone else saw. I thought Garrett Wilson's knee went out of bounds. My wife told me it was a touchdown.
It was very, very close.
I thought his knee was out of bounds.
So it looked like from the first play, he got the foot in, then it kind of like rolled out of bounds, like in a shin, then out of bounds, and then the second foot dragged behind him. It looked very close, and I'm surprised it got turned over, Gary, because the call on the field was an incomplete pass.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised they even had enough evidence to turn it over. Like, if it was called a touchdown on the field, they'd be like, okay, yeah, that stands. But it was a little surprised to see that it got turned over just with that little evidence.
Yeah, I thought it was going to get confirmed. I thought it was out of
Yeah.
bounds. My wife was watching it with me. My wife's got about a 100% rate on telling me if this is going to get overturned. And she said, "No, that's a touchdown." I'm like, "I really think you're wrong, babe." She's looking at me like, "Am I ever wrong?" I'm like, "No," but then he looks out to me. Because she was freaking out. It was the same thing with the KD3. My wife's freaking out. I'm like, his toe was on the line. His toe was on the line. I was like, yeah, it was. I thought this was the same thing. My wife was like, that's the best catch I ever saw. I'm like, yeah, but it was out of bounds. And they called it incomplete. And then they saw the replay. My wife was like, that's a touchdown. I'm like, no, his knee's out. She's like, no, that's a touchdown. I'm like,
Yeah.
see, and then they overturned it. I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
And then Michael Clemens, all of the hate, everything he's gotten this year, he comes through, he gets that sack. I'm just happy for Michael Clemens, man. I really am.
I think my thing is, why entering this game? Why is he playing that many snaps? He earned it tonight. He showed it, but it's crazy how the Jets still trusted him this much entering tonight's game with his current workload based on what he's shown in prior weeks. But I'm happy for him. I'm happy that he went out and he had a nice performance. 2 sacks, I think he got credit for tonight. So good for him, and I hope he continues to improve. I mean, yes, he might not be, a fan favorite just based on his past performance, but anyone who's on the Jets, you got to just root for them. So, you could find someone like Clemens who's a key contributor in a victory like that, 2 sacks, but someone else who had a great game, Gary, Quinnen Williams, a sack and a half. He's really turned around his play the past few weeks. You think his come out party's here to stay?
I hope so. It was everything. It was Quinnen. It was Brees. It was Garrett. It was like everything you wanted to see in your top level players. Well, not Sauce. I don't even think Sauce played that bad. It's just that his mistakes were so highlighted. But everything you want to see from those guys, you're finally starting to see. Is it too little, too late? I mean, we'll find out. They probably can only lose one more game this year, but just like the Mets do, just win now, and then we can be a fan for one more week. Like, the season's not over. Just win now, win next week, and just take this 1 week at a time. The season's not over. It's not over
until far from over.
It's not over. We can still even lose one more. So let's take this 1 week at a time. We're gonna have to be the best team in football from here on out to make the playoffs. But the Mets just did it on June 1st. The Mets had to be the best team in baseball to even make the playoffs, and they did it. So I saw Grimace do it. So why can't the Jets do it?
I think the only game I don't feel confident in them now after this is really the Buffalo game. That's the one I'm scared about because it's in Buffalo and the Jets never play well in Buffalo. But I think, like I said earlier, this is a wave of momentum for the team. And I think this team runs in spurts of momentum. So now, I think if the team lost today, the whole locker room would be lost. And then it just continues to be a bunch of individuals. But I think this is a game where you come out, you win, and I think this is a win where it brings the team together. You start off ugly. This is what, the expectation was from the media, from the fans to see in week 1, the anticipation. This was, the game we were going to see against a talented team like the Texans. It didn't click until now, week 9. And you got to hope it continues to click throughout the rest of the season. And they go on this historical really run. If you think about it, after a 2-6 start, according to Next Gen stats right now, they have a 27% chance of making the playoffs. So that's not completely,
That's not terrible. That's
I don't. I right now, if I had to bet, I don't think they make the playoffs just because of their tiebreaker against. They don't have the tiebreaker against Denver or Pittsburgh. Yeah, so that definitely kills them. But anything is possible with this team. We've seen crazier things.
It's not just don't let the season be over, right? Make the season still count, be relevant, and right now for at least one more week, the Jets are still relevant. So I mean,
Jets are still relevant.
I can't believe the season's come down to this quickly, but right now for this week, we're still relevant. We don't have to talk about tanking. We don't have to talk about what quarterback to draft. We don't have to do mock drafts. We don't have to have Quinn Ewers or Sonora Sanders or Cam Ward debates for the, we can push that off for at least one more week. And great job today on Nothing But Nets, Connor. Appreciate you.
Oh, appreciate it. Gary, thanks so much for having me. Love talking ball with you.
Always.
Enjoy your night.
Connor. Great work, man. Thank you.
Appreciate you. Thanks for popping in. We do have a super chat here before we keep it going. 25, popping in with $2. Missing Fatukasi right now. LMAO, yeah. Fatukasi, John Franklin, Myers, in the run stuffing there, but Jets get it done. I know you were a bit negative there. 25. The Jets could have, I knew Joe Mixon was going to be a nightmare for the Jets run defense, but you're true. You're right. They still need that interior run stuff. For everyone, smash that like button. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. If you we'll stay on here for a couple more minutes. If you guys want to call in, just click the pin comment in the chat. Love to hear what you guys have to say on tonight's game. And then remember, every 10 memberships you guys gift here, I follow it up with 5 following a Jets win. And we're gonna run that for the remainder of the Jets season. Let's see. What do we have? What do we have here? Caden pops in. Tyron Smith looked a bit better. I'd say maybe. Yeah, like I said, we're going to get the PFF numbers and stuff tomorrow, but just from first sight, I think he looked a lot better than the past weeks. He's really struggled. He's really struggled, but I think this was. I'm curious to see how PFF kind of graded him this week, but he looked a lot better than usual. He didn't stand out in a negative way. He didn't stand out in a negative way. I thought he stayed pretty much even killed. He didn't draw too much attention to himself tonight. 25 pops back in with another $2. Appreciate it. I'm objective. You could be positive or negative. Yeah, I'm just saying. Yeah, absolutely. I'm just saying a lot of people. I thought you gave great opinions. I thought you voiced your opinions in a very strong way. But I'm just saying, a lot of people. It's mixed emotions, and I'm not going to tell a Jet fan how to act. I mean, fans can act whatever way they want, and I appreciate the $2 here on the call. And yeah, I thought you made some great points there regarding Hardy and everything. We do appreciate the call and the super chat. Lane, how do you feel about Bruce Hall, Brandon Johnson, and C.J. Mosley, and Woody Johnson, and D.J. Reed, and Sauce Gardner, and Tyron Smith? Bruce, I thought had a great game. C.J. was out tonight. Woody, I think, needs to sell the team, Lane, and D.J. Reed, I thought he played okay tonight. Sauce Gardner, okay, didn't look as bad as the past few weeks, and then Tyron Smith didn't really catch my eye in a negative way. Lane, appreciate the comment. 25 again with a $2. That JD still needs to be fired. 25. JD's actually a free agent at the end of the season, so I don't think the Jets will renew his contract. So it's not like he's automatically locked in for next year. He's a free agent, so I think there's a very solid chance. I think honestly for mutual reasons, because I don't know if the Jets want JD back, and quite frankly, I don't know if JD wants to really come back. It's with him like Woody Johnson's kind of taken over in his territory, which is something, as Woody Johnson really, to be quite honest, has kind of stepped into that like Jerry Jones like role the past few weeks, which is not what a GM wants. Joe Douglas basically built this whole team. Now you look at someone like Woody, who's basically kind of stepping into his role, which is something I don't think a lot of general managers tend to like to deal with. But at 25 again, really appreciate all the support, all the super chats and the call-in. We're gonna wrap up here shortly in a minute. Get your final comments in, super chats, memberships, questions, calls. We're about to wrap up here in a second. And Jesus, another super chat from our guy 25. Wow, you're really making it rain today. Appreciate it. You're absolutely. I don't think there's really any reason as to why the Jets would want to renew his contract, or why both of them would want to part. Well, not necessarily part. Why they both want to reunite again and kind of form a whole new contract. I just don't see how it benefits either side, really. I think he's gone either way. I think he's gone after this season. But like I said, smash that like button. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Final questions, comments, super chats, memberships, everything. Call-ins. We're going to wrap up here in a minute. Huge Jets win. 21-13 at home Thursday Night Football against the now 6-3 Houston Texans. Just improve 3-6 on the season. Now they travel to Arizona next Sunday, 4:25 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Take on the Cardinals. I'm sure we'll have a ton of content up leading up to the game, especially since it's going to be a longer week for the team. So we'll get a ton of content up. I should be on. I should probably have 2 shows tomorrow, actually, since I'm off from school. I should have 2 shows up on the channel tomorrow. Jeffrey wants to know what time the school bus picks me up. Well, Jeffrey, tomorrow I do not have school, so that's why I'm hanging out so late tonight at 12:52 a.m. here on the East Coast. We're normally about 7:30 in the morning, so I'm normally up pretty early. So if this was a school night, guys, I would not be up this late on this show. But yes, I have off from school tomorrow. So yes, normally 7:30 in the morning, but I'm off tomorrow. So all bets are off. But Jeffrey, appreciate the comment and appreciate all the support, all the super chats, all the memberships tonight, guys. I really was not expecting all that support, but it really, really does mean a lot to me and the channel. So that'll do it. That'll do it for us. Jets win 21-13. Vibes are at a high. Connor Long signing off. JTS Jets, Jets, Jets.
J-E-T-S, Jets, let's go.
Jets wide receiver Wesley Walker. Wesley, how you doing today? ESPN writer Mr. Rich Samini. Jets reporter for The Athletic, Mr. Zach Rosenblatt, Hall of Famer, and Jets legend, Mr. Marty Lyons.
Your host, Connor Long.